Welcome back, everyone. We are live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We're going to share the show later on. I have with me Peter Orona, and he is the owner of ABCD Medicare. You have to tell, it's been a little bit of time, so tell everybody a little bit about you and what we're going to talk about today. But I also am going to give you some kudos. But first, I'm going to let you talk and talk a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Carol. Thanks for having me back on the show. It's always exciting to be here.
I love it.
My name's Peter Orona. I'm an insurance agent, licensed insurance agent. We focus on Medicare plans, supplement plans, Advantage plans, prescription drug plans. So we help people when they're turning 65, help them when they're in Medicare and they need to make a decision on whether they stay with the plan or change their doctor. So those are things that we do. We focus on it, and we really try to do our best to help our customers.
Well, I see you on Facebook every day, all day long. And it's just so cool the way that you like to educate your customers, but they become your family. I love the way that you have pictures of them and you're like, so welcome to our family. And what you are is you are the seniors advocate.
Yeah, we try to help them, especially seniors, because, there's seniors that are surrounded by family and they have a lot of resources, and then a lot of my customers they live by themselves, or they're out there by themselves. So what we try to do is just really try to reach out to them, let them know that we're here for them, we're a source for them, whatever it is, to chat. A lot of times I just talk with my customers. It has nothing to do with Medicare. We end up in different conversations. So we're, in general, it's a people business, and we have to relate to them and where they're at, and help them meet their needs to get the best care.
And one of the things that you are is bilingual.
Yeah, I speak Spanish. Actually, it's trilingual.
Trilingual. That's how long it's been. I got trilingual.
It's speak Spanish, obviously English, and then we also speak Medicare, which is a different language because a lot of people find it confusing. And so we, to translate that into Spanish for people, it's important that people get the right information in their hands so that they can make the right decision for themselves. We never make a decision for our customers. All we do is present, give them some options, some solutions to that's going to meet their needs, and then they make the choice.
The other thing that I want to talk about, being that you are trilingual, and mostly, obviously, we're going to speak Spanish right now, is that the fact is that a lot of people who are a little bit older, obviously when you're turning 65, you know that you're getting a little bit older.
Yeah.
And people who are older and may not speak our language 100%, love it that they can talk to somebody who can relate to them and can speak so they understand.
Yeah, it's a sense of trust, right? Culturally, it's a trust, right? If I didn't speak English or you didn't speak English, or I didn't understand what you're saying, you get a little bit apprehensive. Unfortunately, in this space, there's people out there that are just flipping people into different plans just to get credit for them as being an agent. We make sure that we educate our people, make sure they know what their options are, make sure that they have multiple options on the table so they're not isolated to just one. So that language barrier is huge, and the other thing I think is important is that I come from this community, right? I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. Went to Maryville High School.
That's so cool.
Graduated from Grand Canyon University. So I mean, I'm from here. I'm not from another area. So I've seen Phoenix grow up, and it continues to grow. I mean, it's just kind of tripling in terms of sizes here. But I think that's also an important factor, is that I'm not here just hustling and trying to sell plans. The real sincerity is just trying to help people.
Oh, absolutely. You are a people person yourself, and you absolutely are there to educate them, to make sure that you're arming them with good information to make good decisions.
Yeah, that's important. It's very important, regardless of what the language is. And even if that, they come with a different language, whether that's Chinese or Mandarin, there's interpreter services. But obviously, with an interpreter, how do you say, it's not as personalized as if you can communicate at the same tongue that someone else is speaking.
Absolutely. Your website is abcdmedicare.com. You're rated with the Better Business Bureau. And you know, one of the things you're wearing your
Some
hat,
gear.
you've got some oh
bling.
my God. And so you love to give everybody a hat and
Yes.
and they get to pick I'm wearing mine. If anybody doesn't have one, I'm wearing mine, and you always have new ones. You've got some new ones that you just ordered today.
Yep.
You love to do that. You also like to give people a free car wash from Jackson's Car Wash, just to sit down with you, and there's lots of them throughout the valley.
Correct.
So you like to do that too. So you're all about giving as well. And today you said that you wanted to talk about Medicare Advantage plans.
Yeah, there's you know, a lot of people get confused. They use different terminology, and they get confused with what a Medicare Advantage plan is, what their options available. I mean, for example, I was communicating with my sister, and she's like, "Hey, are these supplements all the same?" And she was referring to a Medicare Advantage plan. I knew she was referring to a Medicare Advantage plan, but you know, a supplement Medicare insurance supplement plan is different than a Medicare Advantage plan, right? So the terminology is different, and they also call the supplement side a Medigap. So it adds another layer of confusion, right? And so people just tend to get confused, and they think they have one coverage and they have another. In general, with Medicare, when you get your original Medicare card, the red, white, and blue card, it'll have your name, it'll have a unique identifier, which is no longer your social security number. So they have a unique identifier and have the 2 dates when the Part A and Part B go active. Part A is for hospitals, Part B is for physician services, doctors, imaging, labs, things like that. Those 2 dates are very important. Once you get that card and you're turning 65, or maybe you delayed and you're going to come into it a little bit later, you have a choice. You can buy a Medicare supplement plan, or you can buy a Medicare Advantage plan. There's 2 paths that you can take. Right now, you can have different combinations of those, but a lot of people tend to get confusion there, and that's where the educational side of it is so important, because some people think, well, I'll buy an Advantage plan because it's cheaper, it's a zero premium, I still pay my Part B, then I'll come back later when I get sick to get on a supplement plan, and they don't realize that they're subject to medical underwriting after the first 6 months of them not taking that supplement plan.
Well, my first question when you say when they get their card, does that come automatically?
It does not come automatically. Yeah. So a couple of times where it will come automatically is if you already are on Social Security and you're taking a Social Security check, you should get your card automatic. I say should because Social Security is behind these days, right? There's so very
Who is it?
Yeah. So you should get your card automatically when you're turning 65 if you're taking your Social Security check. If you're not taking a check and you're delaying it, maybe you're going to wait for you're working and you don't want to take your check because you want it to accrue a little bit longer, you will not automatically be enrolled in Part A or Part B. You'd have to actually fill out a form, go to Social Security Administration.gov, and there's a process to complete and fill out, and we've helped a lot of people do that just because unfortunately, they don't have the resources, the technology, or understand how to navigate.
They don't know. They think it's coming. They just think it's coming in the mail, I think.
And so if you don't do it on time, there's also the fear of having these late enrollment penalties, right? Late enrollment penalty for Part B, 10% for the rest of your life. Part D, which is prescription drugs, is 1% for every month you didn't enroll. And so, knowing the rules and being with somebody like myself who has the experience to help you navigate that, we don't get paid for any of that information in regards to you enrolling to original Medicare.
This is a free service to your clients.
Yeah, we get compensated by insurance carriers. So when you make a decision to enroll into one of their plans and we're contracted with the carrier, they pay us for the services that we provided you. And so, there's no ever an obligation, even if there's sometimes it happens we give information and they're just not ready. They're just absorbing the information and they go away for a little bit and they come back. I've seen people come back a year later. Hey, I had a conversation with you and now I'm ready. That happens all the time, right? So you can't be in this business thinking that you're going to achieve all this success when sometimes it takes time.
Right. Everybody does. They want to think about it.
Correct.
Especially us old folks. We like to do that. We also like to talk to our friends. Don't do that, though, because they have a whole different, their lifestyle is different. They might be on different medications.
Correct.
So we're going to talk about that when we come back. the best thing to do is just give him a call. The phone number is 602-770-9062. This is a free service to you. He is your senior's advocate. I love him. He gives you a hat. He'll give you a free car wash from Jackson's Car Wash. His website is abcdmedicare.com. We are still live on Facebook, so I want to keep on talking because we are still live on Facebook right now. And Mike,
are you doing another segment?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Okay, sorry about that. But anyway, we are. What I want to do is also talk about. You said that you want to talk about extra help. You want to talk about HM. We got to have to get all to that.
Yeah.
So
We
we'll
don't
go
have to
back
do
to
it
that. But we'll try and get to all of it. When you help people, it's got to be so rewarding to you, because when somebody has decided to sign up, once they're all done and ready to go, there's peace of mind right there, and you know that it's done right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it could be detrimental.
Yeah, I mean, it's our job, my job to enroll them in the right plan based on the information we see and based on the information they provide, right? So we're technically not allowed to ask health questions, although we're enrolling them in a health plan, unless it's a special type of plan. So we have to ask them, do you want me to look up your prescriptions, things like that. So it's my job to get the information from the client and to make an assessment, okay, based on doctors, prescriptions, hospitals, where you live, your pharmacy, things like that, this would be a plan that would work for you. These three plans would work for you based on what's going on with you.
People think that Medicare is free.
It's not free, right? It's not free for those who get it free.
Well, I think what's really important is that they need to understand they must have Part B, because if they don't have Part B, that's nothing. They have nothing.
Yeah. I mean, they need Part A.
Part A and B.
Yeah, A and B. So A, people work all their lives. You have to accumulate 10 years, or what they call it 40 quarters of work histories for A to be no charge, but it's not free because you worked and they took it out of your check. The government had their hand in their
So they
pocket.
did get it.
Yeah. And then the Part B is when people decide to activate it at 65 is usually the time, and sometimes a little bit later. There's a charge for a premium for it. Right now the standard is $170.10, and depending on your income level, whether you're married or you're single, and how much money you made, that can get higher than $170.10. And if you're considered low income by like 150% poverty level, you qualify for possibly access or Medicaid, and it's very little amount of money that people are living off of, and they get the state and the federal government pays for their Part B, so they don't have that charge, and then they get what they call a D-SNP plan, a dual special needs plan,
Right.
And that's where they can get more benefits.
We're going to talk about that. So welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Peter Orona, and he's the owner of ABCD Medicare. And I will tell you, folks, anybody that if you're turning 65, learning all about this Medicare is extremely important to get it done earlier and learn about it, because there's so much that is involved, not only between the ABCDs, but also the other alphabets that are involved, but also just for the different medications that people are on. There's so many reasons why to have someone like Peter talk to you, because first of all, it's a free service, and you know the Medicare lingo better than anyone, and you just talk to everyone. You want to get educated, and then once you do it, we talked about this at the break, that there's a peace of mind in that, knowing that you're doing something that you know is probably the right thing for you.
Yeah, it's important that we place our customers in the right plans for them, that work for them, that they get that maximize. I always like to use the word maximize their benefits, and what I mean by that is that some people may not use a benefit in a plan, and so it's not important, right? They may not use an acupuncture or chiropractor as much as that you would use a therapist or maybe the over-the-counter catalogs, the benefit that some of these plans have. And so we always look to see how we can. We need to know the plans in and out so that we can apply them to the person that we're trying to
Sure.
show it to.
So we were going to talk a little bit about HMOs and PPOs and special needs, the C-SNPs and the D-SNPs. There's so many.
Yeah, so HMO is exactly what it is. It's a networked plan. So you would go to a plan that is considered HMO, health maintenance organization, and so they have network of doctors, network of hospitals, network of specialists. They have pharmacies, imaging. All that stuff is all networked. Most of them require referrals. Some maybe they don't require referrals, but for something extensive, they may require prior authorizations for you to get treatment. Some of that stuff happens with prescription drugs. So if an HMO will be good for somebody who lives in Maricopa, they're usually county specific. So Maricopa County, Pinal County, Pima County, Yavapai County. And so if you're living in that county and you're kind of saying, hey, I'm going to live here, I don't have a home in Utah, I don't have a home, I don't spend 3 or 4 months out of here over there, then an HMO is going to be a good fit for you. A PPO for me comes into play when you're going to be traveling a little bit, maybe seeing family in Pennsylvania, family in Florida, or maybe you're just going to go to California. You're going to spend more than a month's time there, then maybe a PPO is a good fit for you so that you have access to maybe some in-network providers that are inside of the PPO plan, because if you travel and there's reciprocation in the network in one carrier in another state or another county, then you get the in-network benefit. But if you release someone out of network, the financial liability on a PPO is that you're most likely going to pay 40% of the cost. And so now there's an expense there that most people don't understand. And say, oh, I have a PPO, how come I have to pay 40%? Well, you use somebody out of network, and 40% doesn't sound like a lot until it's $10,000 and you owe $4,000, or it's $20,000 and you owe $8,000. And so those are things that people have to just understand how they work, right? It's not a blank check. You have to use the best economical sense is to use the providers in network. Now within the HMO side, jumping back on the HMO side, there are specialty plans. They call them chronic special needs plans, or C-SNPs. And there's also D-SNPs. There's dual special needs plans, and both of them have different implications. The chronic special needs plans are really designed for people who have chronic conditions. The plan will specifically say what chronic conditions you have to have in order to enroll into the plan. The most common one is diabetes, type 1, type 2. They also have congestive heart failure plans. I wish they would come out with a cancer plan, but it's although it's a chronic condition, no one in Arizona has one. But you would have to have one of those conditions in order to enroll into that plan. And those plans are designed to provide higher level of care, higher level of attention to people who are diabetic or have congestive heart failure. And so those are plans like now there's open enrollment all year long into those plans. So if you're on a standard HMO plan and you've maybe hit your out of pocket and you're in the coverage gap with prescription drugs because you're on an insulin and that plan there's no benefit for you, you may want to consider getting into a chronic special needs plan for diabetics, because these plans have insulin savings programs that the government came out with to help reduce the cost of these people. $35 for insulin, some of them were $0 for the insulin, and now you're talking about saving a lot of money. You never go into the donut or the gap in these prescriptions. Same thing with congestive heart failure plans, right? So there's a lot of different things. That's why we have to know so much is going on, how to apply it, how to communicate that to the customer. The same thing with the dual special needs plans. That is the plan to have people who qualify for access or Medicaid in Arizona, as well as Medicare. So they're 65 and Medicare eligible, or maybe they're under 65 with a disability, and their income is low enough where they have access. Now these people have two plans. Medicare is primary, access is secondary, but most of the benefits in these plans are very rich. Zero co-pays on almost everything inside these plans. And there's higher benefits for dental, vision, rights, sharing, things like that. As prescription drug costs become very low. And so these are all things based on lifestyle, based on how people retire, based on what's going on in their life. we have to apply that to them. Right?
Listen to how you got to get it all out there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just part of it.
Yeah, and this is just part of it, right? And then, you know, within just Maricopa, I think there's like over 140 plans. And how does someone who doesn't know what they're doing think about how do I pick the right one out of those 100+ plans?
Don't do it yourself. Don't try and go online and try and get all the information. Yeah. Having somebody who's experienced. You say trilingual because he also speaks Spanish, but he also speaks Medicare.
Yeah.
And as you're talking, it's amazing just what's involved with it.
Yeah, and you know the one thing is that I want to say is very, very, very important. Work if you choose not to work with me, that's your choice. But find someone locally. Find
right.
someone in your neighborhood that knows what's going on, that understands the plan. Don't respond to the television, the Joe Namath, all those guys up there. Those guys aren't licensed agents. They're salespeople. They don't live in your community. And then when you call those phone numbers, you're going somewhere in another state. And the chances of you talking to that same person again is zero. You'll never talk to that person who enrolled you ever again. So with myself, I get phone calls. I get text messages. I all the way until 8 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, I've received phone calls and messages from my customers because we're there, we're local, and we take that,
and you know the scenery.
And we know how to guide them where to go. We know where the Circle K's are, right? We live in the community, so it's important that you work with somebody local. For that reason.
It's a free service to you. It just makes sense to have somebody that you can relate to. That's number one, and that can help you educate you, and that is what he does. He loves it. Check him out also on Facebook because he's everywhere, and I love your videos. They're all educational. They're all so cute, and they're all so fun as well. Your pictures of everybody that gets involved with you and everything. It's abcdmedicare.com. He's also rated with the Better Business Bureau. His phone number to call is 602-770-9062. You can also, you're going to get a hat from him because he loves to give out hats. Yep. You get a choice of whichever one. I'm wearing mine. It's a little light one for summer. You've got all sorts of them. The camouflage are the ones that people are loving right now, the one that you've got on. He also gives a free car wash from Jackson's Car Wash, so you're going to get that too, just for talking to him, and it's a free service to you. Stories, you said you might have one real quick.
Yeah, just a story this morning. Current client, she was enrolled. A couple stories with her, difficulty ordering her over-the-counter program. We went the extra mile just to sit down with her, spoke with her insurance carrier, spoke with some back office people that I have. We've connected with her, got her order in. Simple things matter in people's lives, right? If I can't get my vitamins and it's frustrating, we want to make it easy for people to get access to their benefits and their plans. So that's one of the things. Same person as well. Doctor switched on her at her current office. If you haven't noticed, there's a lot of senior primary care offices opening up in this area. A lot of doctors are being bought out. So what's happening is doctors are just checking out and they're not participating, or they sold their practice to a bigger company and they're taking over. And so we were in the market to try to find her a new doctor's office, right? She has no transportation, doesn't speak English. So I went to her home, picked her up, drove her to a new place to give her a tour, and just say, hey, listen, if you like this place, we can place you here that way, but you need to be comfortable with it. It's not my decision, it's yours. Just those are the little things that we do extra, right?
Going the extra mile. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, so we just try to help people where we can, and get them to, in my opinion, get access to their benefits. There's no point of a plan that offers a benefit that you can't get access to it. So we want to make it easy for them to do that.
And that's what you're all about. You're a seniors advocate. That phone number to call them, 602-770-9062. It is so important. Don't wait. Do things ahead of time. And there's never a question that isn't a good question, because they're all good, and there's a lot of them. You're going to get a hat from him for just sitting down and talking to him. Also a free car wash from Jackson's Car Wash. Check him out on his website. It's abcdmedicare.com, 602-770-9062.